Welcome back to Rainbow Nation Radio, where we explore South Africa through American eyes. I'm Chris.
And I'm Jessica. Thanks for tuning in all the way from sunny Burbank, Los Angeles. Today, we're diving into a gripping and deeply troubling topic: the extortion and gang activity happening within a 750-meter stretch of Cape Town's city center. Chris, this is a heavy one, isn't it?
It really is, Jessica. This small area has become a microcosm of South Africa's broader extortion problem. Businesses, livelihoods, and even lives are being lost to criminal activities. At the heart of this story is Beerhouse, a popular bright yellow pub that's been a staple in Cape Town for over a decade. Sadly, it recently closed its doors.
That's heartbreaking. Why did it shut down?
Extortion, plain and simple. Beerhouse's owner, Randolph Joburg, shared how criminal groups targeted the business. They demanded security fees, which are essentially protection money. When the business refused, things turned violent. Back in 2015, a doorman, Joe Kanyona, was stabbed to death right outside Beerhouse. Almost a decade later, his killer still hasn't been brought to justice.
That's horrifying. Was Kanyona's murder connected to these extortion demands?
According to Randolph, absolutely. He believes Kanyona's death was retaliation for Beerhouse's refusal to work with a certain group offering security services. It's a classic extortion tactic: offer protection, and if refused, enforce compliance through violence.
This is chilling. And Beerhouse isn't the only venue facing this, right?
Not at all. Just 600 meters down the street, there's another venue, IPEP. This nightclub has also been caught in a web of violence and alleged gang involvement. One of its partners, DJ Sumbody, was murdered in Gauteng in 2022. By 2023, claims emerged that alleged 28's gang boss Ralph Stanfield and his wife, Nicole Johnson, were attempting to dominate the business.
A gang boss and his wife trying to take over a nightclub? That sounds like something out of a movie. What happened next?
It's a tangled mess. Nicole Johnson was actually the general manager of IPEP Cape Town, but tensions escalated. By September 2023, IPEP temporarily closed its doors, following a legal settlement. That same month, Stanfield and Johnson were arrested on charges of fraud and car theft. They're also facing allegations of police involvement in illegally obtaining firearm licenses.
So, we've got extortion, murder, gang activity, and even corrupt police officers? It's like a real-life crime drama playing out in Cape Town.
Exactly, and it's not confined to these two businesses. This 750-meter stretch is riddled with crime. Just 280 meters from Beerhouse lies the Western Cape High Court, where individuals linked to nightclub security operations are currently on trial. Nafiz Modack, a notorious figure in these cases, was acquitted of extortion-related crimes, but remains a central character in Cape Town's criminal underworld.
Wait, Nafiz Modack? Isn't he tied to more violence?
He is. Lieutenant Colonel Charl Kinnear, the investigating officer in one of Modack's cases, made a chilling prediction during his testimony. He said, "I can foresee that more murders will happen." Tragically, he was proven correct. In September 2020, Kinnear himself was assassinated, underscoring just how dangerous and entrenched these criminal networks are.
That's absolutely chilling. He knew the risks, and it's devastating that his warnings weren't heeded in time.
It's a stark reminder of the bravery of individuals like Kinnear who stand up to these networks, even knowing the personal risks involved. His assassination sent shockwaves across the country and highlighted the urgent need for systemic change.
What's being done to combat this?
Back in 2020, South Africa's police minister visited Beerhouse and announced new plans to tackle extortion. But just a day later, Modack and his associates showed up at Beerhouse, supposedly to distribute food to the needy. It was clearly a show of force. A crew from Deutsche Welle even caught it on camera.
So, the police minister leaves, and the very people they're trying to crack down on show up the next day? That's brazen.
It really is. This highlights how entrenched the problem is. This isn't just a Cape Town issue, it's a national crisis that reflects deeper systemic problems in law enforcement and governance.
It's a vicious cycle. Corruption within the police makes it harder to tackle extortion, which then fuels more corruption. Breaking this cycle must be incredibly challenging.
It is, but it's not impossible. Change requires a multifaceted approach, cracking down on police corruption, dismantling extortion networks, and addressing the socioeconomic factors that allow these networks to thrive. Poverty and unemployment often push people toward these criminal organizations.
So, economic initiatives are just as important as law enforcement efforts?
Absolutely. Supporting small businesses, providing job training, and attracting investment to these areas can help address the root causes. At the same time, communities need to rally together to demand accountability and transparency from their leaders.
This has been such an eye-opening conversation. It's a reminder that these issues are deeply interconnected and require long-term commitment to solve.
Exactly. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into Cape Town's underworld. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment to share your thoughts. Together, we can bring more attention to stories like this. Until next time, this is Rainbow Nation Radio, where we explore South Africa through American eyes. Stay curious and stay informed.